Recording in progress.
Hello, everybody. We're back again for a Sports Beat. We're here with Glen Kellaway from the basement, Randall Nelson. Aaron's got the day off. Merry Christmas to everybody out there watching. And we're going to go over our usual NFL, predominantly NFL stuff, because that's what's happening right now. Glenn, unbelievable. Randy, talk about some of these upsets last week, man. Arizona loses to Detroit by 18 points, which is
what
obscene.
happened there. I didn't see it, but I was just shocked when I saw the score. Did anybody watch that?
Detroit jumped on them early. I mean, they were pounding them early, and before you could blink, game was over.
Well, last year Arizona kind of had this swoon after they started off big too. So I don't know if that's indicative of things to come, or if they'll get out of it.
Oh, well, they got a big game this week, so we'll see if they turn it around. I mean, they got a big challenge with the Colts, who are coming on strong.
Yeah. And he doesn't have his best receivers. I mean, Hopkins is out for the year, so I think
that's going to hurt big time. They had some drops in that game. I saw some highlights, and I don't know if they came ill prepared to play or what, but Detroit, with only one win going in, took advantage of them. And now also another game was the Saints shutting out Tampa Bay 9-0. That was outrageous.
Yeah. Brady shut out.
They're 4-0 against Brady since he went over to Tampa Bay.
How about that?
They lost in the playoffs, but the regular season they're 4-0 against them. New Orleans.
And of course, Aaron took the Saints, and us three idiots took the Bucks.
He picked up another one on us.
Oh,
and that was after we build up Brady, giving him MVP and Player of the Year. And all that. He goes and lays an egg and shut out. So just shows we don't know what the heck we're talking about either.
No, not a clue.
Another thing I want to talk about is this on Christmas Day, Fox is doing an All Madden. It's called All Madden. It's a documentary, hour and a half, basically looking back at his career as a coach and a broadcaster. Should be really something else. So I'm looking forward to seeing that right before on Christmas Day. So that's a nice little tidbit. Get your DVRs ready. Watch that.
The PVR is going to be on set.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, that should be a good show.
I always like John Madden. I think he's pretty bold in some of the things. He's himself. He's a caricature of himself, but it's cool anyway. He had a video game named after him. He's bigger than life. So
and he knew when to walk away too. You know,
he knew when to walk away from both.
Not many people do. Yeah, both. Yeah,
that says a lot about a man not hanging in there and grabbing all the money you can. He walked away and did his thing.
Yeah. Well-respected guy, no doubt.
Yep. And the players seem to love him too. They always, ate the turkey drumsticks with him, and they gave him, open access to interviews, and they didn't shun him at all like some of these other big shots. Because I think they thought he was authentic and the real deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's something to look at.
That is something. What's happening on Saturday? Is there games on NFL games on Christmas Day?
I think
there are.
I think there's two games.
There's two games. If I would have wrote them down, I would read them to you, but I didn't.
And is the NBA? I know we're not big basketball fans here. Aaron is, but is the NBA playing on Saturday too? Are they shut down now with COVID?
They're supposed to. They said right now that they're not sure which teams are going to play because of COVID.
Yeah.
The NHL.
It's crazy because the Raptors went into Chicago the other night to play the Bulls, and they had no players. Like, everybody's out.
Right. And
they were going to go in there and just get their asses kicked. And before game time, I guess they phoned Adam Silver and said, no, one more of our guys got sick. And all the pundits up here going, we're pretty sure that they found somebody to pretend they were sick just so they wouldn't have to play the game, because they were just going to get smoked. I mean, they would have had 8 guys on the court,
Terrible.
And on all minor leaguers, basically.
Right. Yeah, it's so weird right now. You can't even judge teams properly because half of them are showing up shorthanded, or it's tough. And all these sports, hockey, basketball, and football.
Yeah, hockey's really good.
This week the Chiefs are hurt with the COVID issue.
Yeah.
It's
No,
crazy.
no Tyreek Hill, no Kelsey. Well, so far,
Kelsey.
unless they test out.
And the Chiefs are playing who this weekend? I can't remember. I forget.
It's Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Boy, that's Do you smell upset?
I don't know. It depends on who, if anybody gets back. They've only ruled one guy out, and that's the kicker.
Yeah.
And so that means that he was unvaccinated, or he wouldn't be ruled out already.
Yeah. How about Philly the other night having a 9-point spread? That was a big point spread.
They played well after the first quarter. I mean, they got down early.
At first, I mean, Washington scores a touchdown. You think, geez, now the spread's 16, and that is now 16 points they got to overcome, and they still managed to beat it, right? By 1, I think. They won by 10, didn't they?
They won by 10. Did you see that stat, though? They've rushed for over 200 yards for 7 straight games. That's the first time that's been done since the 85 Bears, who were a championship team.
Wow.
That's incredible because they don't have the talent, but yet they've committed to it. They have like a running back by committee with Miles Sanders and Boston Scott and Jordan Howard. They mix it up. And the quarterback, of course, can run, so he's tacking on yards too. But they've really come on recently. I'm really shocked at the way they played. And they have another big game this week against the lowly Giants. Their coach is out. Nick Sirianni, the Eagles coach, came down with COVID. So he's not going to be on the sidelines, it doesn't look like. So should be interesting.
It should be very interesting.
A lot of good games. Dallas and Washington are playing. Washington's fighting for their lives. The Rams are playing the Vikings.
Yeah.
Playoff implications there. Pittsburgh, who won last week against Tennessee, goes to Kansas City.
Yeah, can they do it again?
I don't know.
They got a good enough team to be a pain in the ass, but they don't have a good enough team to be successful,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting to slate of games. And I like it now because everybody's playing. None of these bye weeks. Every team's going at it, A lot of division rivals, a lot of playoff spots on the line. So it's interesting. Power rankings, just for the heck of it. There's a little bit of change. Just running through real quick. Number 10, we've got the Indianapolis Colts. They maintained their position from last week. The New England Patriots dropped to number 9. They were riding high for a bit, and they've taken a bit of a dip. Tennessee Titans are at 8. Arizona drops down to 7. Big drop. Dallas at 6. The Chargers, Mutha, Alamare's famous LA Chargers, at number 5. Tampa Bay at 4. The Chiefs, Randy's Chiefs, at number 3. The Rams up to number 2 and holding down the number 1 spot for the first time on our poll anyway, the Green Bay Packers. How about that?
Man, crazy. I don't know. I don't want the Packers to be successful.
No, sure. Aaron Rodgers, rather, just he keeps winning despite all the hate coming his way. People just generally don't like the guy.
Yeah, they had that lead and they blew it last week, and then Baltimore tried to decide to go for 2.
Yeah, that was an interesting call. Why would they do that? Not just play for overtime? I don't know.
Especially when they got their best kicker, and it's like, well, we're lucky to be here with our backup quarterback, but your backup quarterback just let you down 2 drives right in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I know. That's unusual for a coach to gamble like that. Usually they play it safe, go for the overtime, but he was willing to lay it on the line.
He's done it 3 times, and 2 times it didn't work.
Yeah. Wow.
They've lost a lot of stupid games this year, though, the Ravens. So, I mean, that coach, maybe it's time for a coaching change.
Well, they've won some crazy games, too, like the 66-yard field goal that bounces over.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about I'm looking at.
You can never trust them. It's always a close game.
And your boys, Glen, beat Cleveland last week in a big game, 16-14.
Mm-hmm. They're still in the hunt. Yeah.
And they play who this week? I'm looking at the board here.
Broncos.
They play the Broncos, so they have a shot. They're at home against the Broncos.
Yeah.
That's one of our prediction games.
That's why I think they'll lose. Because they have a shot.
Yeah.
Pick some tough ones to predict.
Yeah. And we'll do that a little later. We wanted to take a look at some favorite moments in sports to wrap up the year, just things that made us happy or things we want to acknowledge that were big time. And Randy, you want to start? Do you have anything to throw out there?
You want me to do all of? I picked 5. You want me to do all 5 of them, or
what do you want to do? Rotate, Glenn, or just pick them all?
Yeah, pick them all. Go ahead.
Pick them all. We'll go
you
around
got
the
floor, Randy.
Okay. Well, number 5.
Wake me up when you're done.
The first one I picked was a humorous one. It's Robert Hunt, Miami offensive lineman. Tua was going back to pass, and somehow he was getting rushed, and he accidentally threw it, and the offensive lineman caught it. Do you remember that play? And he went down to the goal line and dove, and he's falling on his head, and he reaches the ball out over the goal line like the score. Of course, it doesn't count.
That's hilarious.
Because it's illegal. They got a penalty, but it was like the wildest non-touchdown run
That's
ever.
hilarious.
It's amazing how many guys don't know the rules that are actually playing the game.
So was that an illegal formation or something, or illegal?
No, just the offensive lineman can't.
Yeah, illegal receiver catching the ball.
Unless he's reported as a receiver, and then they announce it, then
changes his sweater number.
The next one I picked was Javi Baez. Well, he was with the Cubs, and then he got traded to the Mets. And he signed a huge contract with Detroit. So he's going to be with Detroit next year.
Yeah.
But he had one where he hit the ball to like the third baseman. And they threw somehow they threw it to the first baseman, but he was down the line. And so he started coming toward Javi, and Javi ran all the way back to home plate.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
And then the guy from third scores. So the first baseman threw it to the catcher.
Yeah.
And then Javi starts running for first. Of course, there's nobody covering first base, and the second baseman's going there, so he throws it to the second baseman, running to first, and it goes off his glove, and he ends up at second base.
Randy, this is not bloopers of the year. Those two are they're classic.
Well, the next one's a real one. Is I don't know. When I was in college, I played volleyball, so I've always been a big volleyball fan. Of course, you don't see it on TV. Usually they show the women's on TV, the women's college, but they don't show the men's often.
Right.
But I have a friend of mine, her niece played for Wisconsin, but she's already graduated. She's not there this year, but this year for the first time ever, they won the women's national championship. And Big Ten's always good in women's volleyball. But so I thought that was cool. I don't know what football game was on, but I actually flipped it over and I ended up watching
that's
Wisconsin.
Cool.
The Wisconsin. So that was it.
That's kind of stuff I like.
Yeah.
That's a good memorable moment.
Then the next one is the Braves winning the title.
Yeah.
I was happy that Houston didn't get anything. I mean, they're still cheaters.
Yeah.
And so Aaron probably liked that one. And my number one was actually just last week. It's 9-0. Tom Brady he's yelling at the defensive coordinator for who are they playing? Dang, I forgot.
Saints.
New Orleans. Yeah. Dennis, I can't remember the guy's name. Dennis Smith? No. I can't remember the defensive coordinator, but he's over there on the sidelines yelling at him. It's probably like, you're not supposed to be doing that to me. I'm a great quarterback. I don't know what he's saying to him. And then you see him on the bench and he throws his
I saw that. Yeah.
Pad down and I go, all right, 45-year-old
He's
throwing a temper
sore
tantrum.
loser, bad sport.
Yeah.
So that's my 5.
It shows you a lot about him as a person, I think. But
that's awesome.
how about you, Glenn? What do you got?
Okay, I got 6. So how am I going to get rid of this? So, okay, I know what I'm going to do. Okay, first of all, I'm not a huge basketball fan, but I watch a bit of the playoffs and everything. Milwaukee Bucks winning their first championship in 50 years has got to be recognized.
Yeah, that's good.
I can't pronounce Giannis's
Giannis,
last name, and a Kanumba Combo, but the last time they won, what was really interesting was I looked it up just to get some color on it. In 1971, the last time they won, it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar when he was Lou Alcindor before he changed his name to the Muslim name.
Yep.
So, and I was a basketball fan back then, in the early 70s. So that was kind of cool.
Still playing on that team?
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. Yeah, no,
he was on that team. Oscar Robertson, Bob Dandridge. They had a good team.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. My number 5 is Freddie Freeman at the home run derby. He was just cool out there, and he was shooting the dingers off. Yeah, and he just seemed like such a cool guy. It was just a really good sports night to watch, because normally I'm not into those kind of all-star festivities, but I really enjoyed that.
He's a guy you can root for too. I like that.
Oh yeah, that was just a really magical evening.
Yep.
That didn't really mean anything. Number 3 is kind of a whole season of thing, but watching Vladimir Guerrero Jr. have his breakout season at like 20, 21 years of age and become, he's running up for MVP, and just broke out after 2 or 3 years of struggling and having a weight issue. He got himself in shape, and he just became the superstar that everybody predicted him to be. 48 home runs, 311 batting average, 123 runs scored, 111 RBIs. He was second in MVP voting, and that was a pretty magical season. Number 2 are 2 Canadian ones, because I'm a Canadian. The Canadian women's soccer team winning the gold medal in the Summer Olympics was absolutely phenomenal to watch. Both the semifinal game and the gold medal game went into kick overtime in penalty kicks. They finally took the monkey off their back and beat the U.S. women's soccer team, which they could never seem to do, and then won the gold medal game. So that was pretty exciting for Canada. It was a big moment. And number 1 is tennis. I don't know if do you guys watch tennis, the majors, at all?
I like to watch the tournaments.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, the Canadians just were magical this year. Leila Fernandez, 19 years old, goes to the U.S. Open.
I did watch her. Unfortunately, she lost in the final.
She lost in the final, but she was just knocking off everybody. It was really exciting to watch. And Felix Alasimi, who also he went to the semis at the U.S. Open, and Dennis Shapovalov went to the semis at Wimbledon. So we had 3 Canadian superstars in tennis, and all my life I've been watching tennis, and we never had any. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's impressive. Very cool. I don't have anything monumental here. I wanted to acknowledge Tom Brady's 7th Super Bowl. I don't like him personally, but for a guy to do that into his 40s with 2 different teams, you gotta give it up to him. I mean, as hard as it is. I mean, another thing I locally hear is Bryce Harper winning the MVP for the Phillies, or a 500 team. The guy hit over 300, over 400 on base, over 500 slugging. Just a tremendous year. Single-handedly kept them in the race because they really didn't have much around him. He took 100 walks and still put up great numbers. Phenomenal year. He earned his money this year, although, he's overpaid like all baseball players are, but still, I have to acknowledge a tremendous year. I like what you said about Vlad Guerrero. The sky's the limit for him. He's only, 22, 23 years old?
Yeah, not even. I don't think he's hit 22 yet.
Yeah. So, what kind of numbers is he going to put up? He stays healthy.
Oh, yeah, monster.
Keeps that weight off. He'll be one of the greats. Ohtani, who did win the MVP.
Great story.
Have to acknowledge him. He had 46 home runs.
Yeah.
Drove in 100. He stole 26 bases and was 9-2 as a pitcher with a 3.18 ERA, 156 Ks. So he's out there DHing when he's not pitching. And he wins the MVP, a 2-way player, obviously. And Incredible feat.
In our lifetimes, we're all old timers. In our lifetimes, we have never seen anything like that.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what he's got in store because he's still relatively young. I think he's 27, 28. He came over from Asia. Another story, like Randy said, the Braves. I was pulling for them all the way, even though they're a rival of my team, the Phillies. I think they're a likable team. I like their nucleus. I love Freddie Freeman. I like, Dansby Swanson and Acuna Jr., who was hurt. A lot of their guys are excellent ball players, and they're going to be a tough nut to crack in years to come. The number one story is sort of off the field for me, and that was the Tiger Woods car accident where he almost lost his life, recklessly driving on winding roads, showboating, being,
being Tiger.
Being like James Bond out there thinking he's king of the world, and almost came back to bite him. It may cost him his golf career, probably will. I don't think he'll ever compete.
Although he came back last week and played in the tournament and did pretty well.
He played with his son in some kind of tournament there, but
they say he was hitting the ball well. So
he's not going to be able to walk the course for a while.
Yeah,
with
that.
I don't know if he'll get an exemption. He'll get an exemption for a cart. You watch. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep, absolutely.
That was the one that stuck out to me, and that was early in the year. That happened in either January or February last year.
Yeah, it's a big sports moment for sure. While we're on the subject of Phillies and in your division there, are you guys following the Mets at all?
Yes, I am.
With hiring Showalter.
That's a good hire.
That was a good hire, and then signing Scherzer, which I think was just
overpaying.
They overpaid him. He wouldn't have come there for anything else. And I think they just signed somebody else this week too, didn't they? They signed another player.
They had Starling Marte. I think they picked him up.
And,
but they're spending all the money. Evidently, their owner is one of the richest guys out there, Steve Cohen, and
it's going to be interesting to watch
that particular division
into a team. Yeah.
I don't know if they can buy their way past the Braves. The Braves are loaded as is.
Mm-hmm.
And they have Jacob deGrom, who's always hurt. Nobody can hit him. I mean, he shuts everybody up, but he's always hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they do anything. And who's to say Scherzer's going to play a full season? He's 37, 38 years old.
And he came down with arm injuries with the Dodgers late in the year where he couldn't go in late in the playoffs. So that's a waste of money to me to pay him over $30 million a year at 38 years old.
I think it was almost just to show the league that, hey, we're in it to win it kind of thing. So to convince other players to come on board, I think that's the only reason they signed him.
Philosophically, I'll ask all you guys this. If you were the owner of a team, would you rather pay a guy, a position player, that kind of money, or a starting pitcher who's only going to throw 32, 33 games a year? I mean, that's.
I've always starting pitching. They've paid too much for pitchers when they only play. Used to be every fourth thing out every fifth
game. Yeah.
Yeah. But you can't win without pitching.
You have to have pitching, but yet, are you going to front load your payroll for
so
these
you
guys?
Can't have It just, it depends on each situation. So different. If you're at a point where you've got, like, say the Jays, they've got a lot of young guys who are still on their entry level contracts.
Right. That's right.
So they can they could probably afford a Scherzer or something at $30 million a year. But 2 or 3 years from now, when they got to sign Bichette and Vladdy to $30 million contracts a year for 10 years, then all of a sudden they can't do it on the pitching. They got to develop some pitching on their own. You know what I mean?
I'd rather tie those young guys, those young hitters up long term and
Well, look at the way Tampa Bay does it. I mean, Tampa Bay never has any superstar pitchers. They develop these guys and they pitching by committee. I don't think anybody ever pitches more than 2 innings in that freaking team.
That's right. They have those openers that come out of the bullpen. We lost Randy.
We did lose Randy.
Come back to us, Randy.
Yeah.
We got predictions.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Randy's gone. Well,
but anyway,
we can talk.
Yeah. I just think
we can talk hockey.
Let's do some hockey. We haven't done right now. There's a lot of shutdown, right? We never get to talk.
I don't know when anybody's going to play. I just saying to my wife with that, we don't even know what the schedule is like now. It's like totally thrown us off. But I guess in this is the World Junior Tournament, which is starting on Boxing Day, is freaking huge in Canada. It's one of the biggest sporting events of the year. Does it get any play at all in the States?
No.
And the U.S. is a great team.
Yeah. No play.
Really? That's too bad. It's a great tournament. And there are all these guys who are going to be in the NHL next year. I mean, it's all, 18 to 20-year-olds. And I was watching, actually, the preseason game was on just when we started doing Finland and U.S. U.S. was winning 2-1. But watching guys in between periods there, they said the U.S. has the best developed the under 18 level of players.
Am I back?
U.S. is
you're back.
Is probably the best prospects in the world right now. So
is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but you're back. Glad to have you.
Yeah.
Glenn and I talked hockey for 2 seconds.
Yeah, we got to talk hockey for a second.
I didn't want to be like Sam St. John in the car on your.
You saw that?
Yeah. Making love to the roof of his car. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing in there.
He tried though. He tried 4 or 5 times to get in, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah. No, I don't know what he was doing.
Anyway.
Okay.
Are you done talking hockey?
We were. We were talking about there's a World Junior Tournament starting on Boxing Day. I was just asking if it gets any play in the States because it's an amazing tournament.
Not really.
Rich saying he doesn't nothing. No one knows anything about it.
Unless I'm just unaware of what channel it's on. I think we cover it on the NHL Network, but it have to be in the middle of the night or something. I don't know.
It's from Edmonton, so it's the games will all be on prime time.
Yeah, I like watching that stuff when I know it's on. It's just they don't advertise it, and you got to kind of hit it by accident sometimes.
Yeah.
In the States, I'm sure in Canada it's a lot different.
So what happens in the U.S.? Can you get a cable sports cable package where you can watch the Canadian sports channels?
Yeah,
like we've got Sportsnet and TSN up here, where you've got ESPN down there. We've got 2 sports networks that are kind of both national networks.
They have a hockey package where you can watch all the different hockey games.
But then NHL Center Ice, anybody can get that all over the world. I was just wondering if you actually get we don't get ESPN up here. No, we get TSN, which is the sports network. It's kind of a sister company to ESPN. It's the same thing. It's Canadian talent on it, not American.
They have 3 or 4 different ESPN, ESPN2, and then there's a third one. I forget.
Yeah.
ESPN Plus maybe or something like that.
Yeah.
And then of course we get the MLB network, the NHL network, the NFL, the NBA. They all have their own network.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the Center Ice package and those type of things are spin-offs where you can pay extra money to watch every game on the board.
I know. Yeah. I feel like there's enough games on free TV that I don't have to pay.
That's where I'm at
packages.
Too. Yeah, I'm the same boat. If you watch let's say baseball, MLB Network, they'll cut in and out of different games at night.
Yeah.
And show you what's going on live. I don't need to watch every pitch of every game. So
no, that's true. And there's enough baseball. If you're a fan of your local team, you probably got local TV for the Phillies or for the Royals, and there's a game every. How many nights off do they get? You pretty much watch your own team every night.
Yep, that's one of the great things about living in this time period is every game is on TV. When we grew up, the Phillies games were only on Sunday afternoons or something, or maybe a couple road games. You didn't get every game. You had to listen to the radio to check it out. So
we didn't even have a team in Toronto when I was a kid, and there was just the game of the week on Saturday with Kurt Gowdy and
Tony Kubek.
Later, Joe Garagiola.
Joe Garagiola. Yeah. That was it. You got your game of the week.
Yeah, we mentioned Kurt Gowdy when we did our announcers. He was very good. He was excellent.
Yeah. And I remember Buffalo was only a couple hours from Toronto, and we'd get the Buffalo TV stations that would be on our American networks when we originate from Buffalo. And then Buffalo got an independent station called WUTV, which became a Fox affiliate once the Fox network got going. But they used to show the Mets games, Mets games. And oh man, I was in heaven.
Yeah.
Getting to watch some baseball.
Were Buffalo a farm team of the Mets at that time? Is that why they showed them? Or?
I don't know.
I don't know why
Buffalo
they would pick
Bisons, probably. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
I know the biggest hockey thing, at least around that I know of, is the outdoor hockey game.
Oh, yeah.
On New Year. Yeah,
that is cool.
Well, they do a ton of them now. They don't, once it was just, when they started, it was just one game a year. Now there's probably a half a dozen of them.
Yeah.
They play them all over the place. But yeah, they're always fun events.
They're fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just seems bigger when you see when the crowds are further away.
Yeah.
It's cool. With the snow coming down sometimes, and it's cool.
Do you think hockey is growing at all in the States, or is it still just in the major markets where there's a team?
I think it's that. I think it's just the major markets where there's a team. It's the fourth major sport, and for some cities that don't have it, they don't pay attention to it at all. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean,
KC had it. Did you remember when KC had a team?
I do.
It was only for a year or two, and then
the Scouts.
Yeah, Scouts.
Yeah, I remember that because I remember the expansion draft the year it happened. A couple of the Flyers, Joe Watson went there for sure, and Simon Nollet. Remember Simone Nollet there?
Yeah, Simone Nollet. Yeah,
he played with the Scouts too.
Yeah,
and did they move to Colorado? Where did they go? They became
Quebec. Quebec moved. Nordiques moved to Colorado.
Yeah,
I can't remember where the Scouts went.
They might have disbanded.
I don't remember.
Yeah, at that time they might not even have moved the franchise. They could have just disbanded it.
I think they sort of disbanded, or maybe they combined with the Minnesota.
Oh, was that the one when they combined? Two teams combined, they became Dallas.
I think for a year Minnesota, and then they moved to Dallas. The Stars.
Yeah, North Stars were around for a long time.
I think they took some of those Kansas City players because they were financially hurt and something. I think that was the case.
Yeah.
But Kansas City Scouts. Wonder if
do you think Kansas City? Now, how many? That was a long time ago. So do you think Kansas City would support a hockey team now, Randy?
I don't know if they would get enough or not.
Yeah, I mean, there's a team in Arizona, for God's sakes. I mean,
they've got the arena that they don't have a major tennis in.
No basketball team either.
Yeah.
And St. Louis isn't that far away, and they support the Blues. That's a big sport there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. How far is St. Louis from Kansas City?
It's about a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's closer than Philly and Pittsburgh. That's about a 6-hour drive.
Yeah. Pennsylvania's a big friggin' state.
It's a wide state, you know.
Yeah.
Missouri's more of a longer state.
Yeah.
But
wow, interesting.
All right, now that we've covered geography, you want to go into our predictions? Aaron, who's not here today, or excuse me, I'm all boggled up here. Glen picked the games this week, and let me just run through quickly. We've got Indianapolis at Arizona. These are all going to be tough. Baltimore at Cincinnati, nice one. Buffalo at New England. And Denver at the Raiders. So these are all very competitive games, and 3 of the 4 are division rivalry games. I do have Aaron's pick, so he's going to be in the mix. What are the standings, Glenn? Have you tabulated?
The standings are, because last week Aaron got 3. We all got 2 each until Aaron picked the Saints, and we all picked the Bucs like a bunch of morons. So he gained another one on us. He's got 23. We've Randy's got 18, and you and I have 19. So we got some. We got to catch him.
Well, next
don't
week
reveal Aaron's pick. Reveal Aaron's pick first on every game, so we can bet against them.
I'll do that next week. Just for the record, I'm going to pick the games, and then the final week, we're going to pick every game on the schedule.
Yeah,
just to give everybody a shot at winning the illustrious title here. Anyway, Aaron's picks first. You ready for this one? Indianapolis at Arizona. Aaron picks the Colts.
Ooh.
On the road at Arizona. All right, just for the heck of it, I'll go first on this one. You know, I'm going to take the Colts too. That's not going to be the game I leapfrog them. It's going to be a different one.
Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, I'm starting to think Arizona's doesn't play that well at home. Actually, they don't have a great home record. I'm going to have to go with Indy too. I think Arizona's starting to fade.
Yeah, me too. All right. Randy's got the Colts. Glenn?
Wow. Well, it's the NFL, and whatever you expect to happen never happens. So I'm going to go with Arizona. Like they played like crap last week, and now they'll come back and they'll win 40-0.
You never know.
The Colts are due for a loss.
Yep. So. All right. Next game up, we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh.
Now, who would you think Aaron would take here? He's got the Bengals. I'll tell you that right now.
He does, eh?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go. I had picked it, Cincinnati, so I guess I'll stay with it, even though they won last week, so I guess it's their week to lose, actually. But Baltimore is just their secondary is depleted. So I guess Burrow might have a good day. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm picking Cincinnati.
What do you think, Glenn?
Oh, man. This is a tough one.
It is tough. I don't trust that Baltimore coach the way he's going for 2 when he shouldn't. And
how's the standings go now, Cincinnati and Baltimore?
They're both even at 8 and 6, man.
Are they? Wow. Big game for both teams.
Yep.
I say a tie. I'm going Cincinnati too.
So am I. I'm going Cincinnati. So that's a sweep. Okay. Incoming. All right. Next up, we've got Buffalo at New England Patriots.
Man.
I'll give you Aaron's.
What is it?
Buffalo.
Wow.
That's the one he's going on the limb with because Buffalo's been fading, or they're inconsistent. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
He's predicting they go into New England and take it.
I'm taking the Pats at home.
Glenn's taking the Pats. I'm going to go with the Pats as well. Randy?
Yeah, I picked Buffalo, so I'm going to stick with it.
Randy and Aaron are on the Buffalo train.
He's got to do better than he did last week. I don't know. I mean, last time they played.
Buffalo,
last time it was in that terrible weather.
Buffalo could be the hardest team to predict in this whole league. I mean, they're in Cincinnati. They're up and down, up and down. They play.
If they don't win this week, they're kind of out of it. So I think they're kind of backs to the wall. So I'm not picking.
Yeah, but they always break their fans' hearts. Nobody gets their hearts broken more than Buffalo Bills fans.
I agree with that.
They'll just another disappointing season that'll go nowhere. I'm hoping.
And the last
not
game
that I
we're
have
going to
anything
take a look.
Buffalo.
We got another division game. This is the Denver Broncos at the Vegas Raiders, and Aaron has taken the Raiders.
I'll take the Raiders too. Although I think they choke up every big game, but I'm going to take them anyway. I don't want to root against them.
I'm going to take them. I'm going to take them at home too. I don't trust Denver.
Yeah, well, Drew Lock's going to be starting for Denver, and he's a turnover machine. So I'm going to pick the Raiders too.
Wow.
So not much movement there. We got 2 sweeps. Yeah. Buffalo. If Buffalo should win, Randy and Aaron would pick up one.
Yep.
And if Arizona comes up big, then Glenn picks up one. So we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, I'm with the pack on all of these. I don't have any leeway. Horrible.
Wow. That should be a fun week.
It'll be a good week. Next week, we're going to be back on a Friday noon schedule for recording. Hope to get it up Friday for YouTube. So we want to wish everybody out there Merry Christmas for sure. Happy holidays, all that stuff. Safe travels. Wear your mask. Get inoculated. All that good stuff. Be safe.
Yeah.
And come back and see us next week. So for Glen Kellaway from the basement, Randall Nelson from Kansas City, and Aaron Mutha Alamare, who is chilling
Here.
in Pocatello. Merry Christmas, Aaron. We'll see you next week. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Peace
Thanks,
out.
guys.
See you guys. Take care.
Take care. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.